Welcome to Parts Unknown Melbourne with Gandalf and Moose. I'm Gandalf.
And I guess that makes me the Moose.
Two best mates that moved to Melbourne during the pandemic and made a list of all the places we wanted to visit when lockdown was over.
Well, that was when we weren't making sourdough.
Hey, you were the one that burnt it.
Hey, we've made over 200 videos of the best bars and cafes in Melbourne that don't break the bank. Today we're in Toorak.
Enough talking. Let's go.
You know it shouldn't be so hard choosing where to eat. Just open up TikTok and maybe you will see.
Parts Unknown, Melbourne is never wrong. Moose and Gandalf are singing this song. Melbourne, can't you see? You're the city for me.
I know our bits are long, but a like and comment never goes wrong. On the west end of Toorak Road, you'll find Sezana's, a cafe, if you will, but they also do juices and milkshakes and some wine. A place that goes fully mask off with a poster for its Liberal candidate in the window. We'd love to see it here at Sezana's.
Skinny cappuccino for me. I'm being cognizant more nowadays about chocolate getting on my nose and my the bridge of my the monobrow section. Lots of times I'll find down the street people tell me about it. Made me quite self-conscious. Not much chocolate on this one though, so not really an issue, I guess.
What you're watching right now, if we can put on the Moose's life meter, I've gained a couple of extra years because I've decided to go for the kale juice. Kale, celery, apple, and there was some other thing in there too, which I'm sure is going to increase my lifespan tenfold. Umbrella. Now you might think that everyone in Toorak is a bit snobby. Not the case when you go to Sezana's. When we went up, the man at the desk said, look, grab a menu, take a seat. You do have to come up and order, but we'll give you a number and deliver it to you. So it's a bit of back and forth. You give and you take a bit.
Okay, doesn't matter what sex, race, ethnicity, cultural background, anywhere, no matter who you are, everyone loves bacon. Except for some people who don't like it for many reasons, which we accept. That's okay if you don't like it. But for those that do, we're going to start doing the question of the week. What's your favourite way to have bacon? Stringy, crispy, totally insane, absolutely nutty. So let us know, how do you like your eggs?
While Gandalf's big breakfast and coffee looks very scrumptious, for me, I'm trying to be in a bit of a calorie deficit. So just the kale smoothie for me today. And, well...
So I always love Jim Carrey's comedy, dramas more than his comedies. So Man on the Moon and
Truman Show,
two brilliant movies of his, which he both got Golden Globes for. So it's almost like there's something in the air, because when we got to Sezana's, they gave us number 23 for our table, a reference to Jim Carrey's movie, The 23.
This croissant's amazing, but we're going to need some help. We're going to throw over to the Tech Twins to show you the best new tips for your iPhone. Take it away, guys. Thank you so much, Moose and Gandalf. We have a great tech tip for you guys today, and it's all about saving battery life on your phone. Yes, I'm going to throw over to Gandalf to show you how to put low battery mode in the control center part of your iPhone.
Absolutely. So with the low battery mode, how many times have we seen in the top right hand corner where it goes yellow? Yes, it shows you're under 20%, but you can save power if you go in low battery mode sooner. Now, a lot of people think that you need to go into settings and then do it that way. However, that can be quite manually cohesive on the fingers. Now, the way to do this is you go into your settings and find the control center. You'll see everything that's an option there currently in your rotation, and you can also find new ones you can put in. Find low power mode, press it in. Soon enough, you'll have low power mode with a flick of your finger when you swipe down, making it a lot easier on you and saving you batteries.
Yes, and coming in with a hot tip, when you go to the control center part in settings and you're picking what buttons do I want to put in there, and you're adding low power mode, why don't you also click the Shazam button? Yes, it means that you can scroll down and click Shazam every time you're out in public and you want to know what you're listening to, and you don't have to say, hey Siri, what am I listening to? Moose and Gandalf, we're going to throw back to you guys. Thanks guys for covering us while we get stuck into our croissants. We're going to throw it back to Moose and Gandalf to show us the best thing about Sezana's.
So to those who have been DMing, thank you for your support. We're a little bit closer to a verdict. Obviously, you guys know the whole incident that happened with probably 2 months ago, I was accused of theft from a share house in East Brunswick for a vacuum cleaner and some money. which I didn't do. This comes on the back of me being in a relationship with some of the people in that house, and relationships falter and fail, and that's part of life. They, however, have brought it upon themselves to accuse me of things. It has been taken from county court to the next level, but I can't say too much, but we're confident that the right side of history will be shown, and it'll all be good for Gandalf, finally.
And you know what? I think it's something they wouldn't want you to know. Yes, as many people believe that Interact is part of the Illuminati. And I'm sure there's something in these juices that lets me live infinitely like a vampire would. So, in a couple of 100 years, I'll still be doing Parts Unknown Melbourne with my best friend Gandalf.
Now, Sezana's has been established since 1997, okay? It's going to be 30 years in 3 years' time. Do you have any idea how good of a cafe you have to be to keep it going that long? Especially in this kind of area where there's probably, honestly, a lot of private school educated people who, didn't do much in class because they knew their parents had a lot of money. So they said, I'll just open up a cafe, and they don't really need to get the capital. Their parents are going to do it for them. Didn't ask, didn't want to pry. But what I'm saying is they run a tight ship. So here's to another 30 years of Sezana's.
Turak is a place you go when you want to be inspired. Even now, when I'm looking at Gandalf, behind him, there's a building with all these famous names on it, referencing very famous people of our culture. We've got Casey Capital, referencing, I'm assuming, Casey Neistat of YouTube, Kennedy, JFK, K and Burton. I'm assuming K is Kiki K, and Burton, Tim Burton.
Although this is great for sangers and like lunch and cafe stuff, and you can even get cakes and chocolates as well. However, they're going to sell out pretty quickly. So, should that be the case, you can jump across the road to Hayes Chocolate. I don't know much about Hayes Chocolate. I've always been more of a Cadbury man, but I'm willing to give that a go and bet that it tastes awesome.
Inside Sezana's, they have a whole diagram on the wall explaining how coffee works, basically, which I really appreciate. But to be fair, I can explain it a lot quicker. Me drinky and nobody get hurt.
Well, it's that time of night. Time for Gandalf's final sip of the day. Sometimes when you get the chocolate at the bottom of a cappuccino, I like to swish it around like as if it was Listerine. Just divine. Give it a go, let me know in the comments. Anyway, let's give you our final thoughts out away from here.
Parts Unknown, Melbourne is never wrong. Moose and
Legends, thank you so much for watching one more episode of Parts Unknown Melbourne. Sylvanas, you were amazing. I've been Moose.
And I, of course, have been Gandalf. Sezana's, you were just sensational. The food, the coffee, the interior, the staff, they were so friendly. I couldn't believe it. We'll definitely be back, but as for now, I've got to go to the bathroom.